Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those in between, welcome aboard the Himasagar Express, a journey across the length of India. For millions, trains in India are more than a means of transport. They are secure, affordable, and deeply woven into everyday life. Rails carry not just people and goods, but stories, culture, livelihoods, memory, and motion. I travel on one of Himasagar Express. It provides the third longest train journey in the country by distance, covering nearly 3,800 kilometers in about 72 hours. I board the train in New Delhi, traveling to Tirupati, a journey of 37 hours and 15 minutes, covering 2,138 kilometers, halting at 22 stations across 7 states in India from north to south.
Now the train has entered the middle state of India, Madhya Pradesh. The landscape changes drastically and dramatically because from plains to the highlands plateau.
The Himasagar Express runs only once a week, adding to its mystique. Along the way, it passes through 13 Indian states, revealing an ever-changing landscape. The icy Himalayas, fertile Indo-Gangetic plains, the Aravalli Range, the vast Deccan Plateau, the Eastern Ghats, rural interiors, pilgrim towns, bustling cities, and finally the edge of the Indian Ocean. The name Himasagar itself tells the story. Hima meaning icy Himalayas and Sagar meaning sea. This train connects India's frozen mountains to its southern shores. Traveling by rail is the best way to experience India. From lime green paddy fields and jungle-clad hills to temple spires and endless platforms, the journey invites conversations with strangers, shared cups of chai, and quiet moments watching the country unfold outside the window. Flying may save time, but trains let you feel India. Behind this vast journey stands Indian Railways. Over 7,300 stations, more than 68,000 kilometers of track, the fourth largest rail network in the world, and one of the world's largest employers. Indian Railways never sleeps. This is more than a train journey. It is a journey across the nation. Let us begin. In India's national capital, New Delhi, I arrived at the railway station with the help of Naresh, a taxi driver who serves rail passengers almost exclusively. Born nearby and raised nearby, he knows this place by heart. Naresh insists me and a fellow traveler and journalist, Venkaya Naidu, to stop at Raju Chaiwala, and he informs Himasagar Express is delayed. Raju Chaiwala is apparently famous for chai and bread pakoda.
I am about to reach the Ajmeri gate of New Delhi railway station, which is the back entrance. But I am going there because my friend who drives a taxi, he said before going there we should have tea.
The temperature hovers at 33 degrees Celsius. The monsoon has receded. Summer is still distant and winter is just beginning to draw closer. September, perhaps, is the perfect time to travel in India. The country is green, alive. For Naresh, New Delhi railway station feels like a second home. He leads the way. After the security check, we stop at a drinking water point, at a bookshop to buy newspapers, then wait on the platform where the Himasagar Express is due to arrive. He helps a septuagenarian passenger in finding his train on a platform.
इंडिया का नई दिल्ली रेलवे स्टेशन है और यहाँ आने के लिए पूरे भारत के लिए हर जगह के लिए यहाँ से ट्रेन मिल जाता है। हर समय फैसिलिटीज़ है यहाँ पे, कहीं से भी आओ कहीं भी जाओ। बहुत भीड़ रहता है यहाँ पे, बहुत भीड़ रहता है। उस हिसाब से यहाँ पे फैसिलिटीज़ थोड़ा कम है। उसके बाद आपको ये है कि यहाँ से आने के बाद आप कहीं आएँ कहीं जाएँ, बहुत ईजी हो जाता है ट्रेन में जाना।
New Delhi railway station holds a Guinness World Record for the world's largest route relay interlocking system. Around 11,000 relays controlling more than 1,100 signal movements, all working together to manage an intricate flow of trains with precision and safety. This is one of India's busiest railway stations, handling nearly 350,000 passengers every day. Despite having 16 platforms, the station relies on only 4 main tracks for arrivals and departures, demanding exact coordination as trains pass through every few minutes during peak hours. This is New Delhi railway station. The word new exists because there is also an old Delhi railway station just a few kilometers away, yet separated by more than a century of history. New Delhi railway station was built in 1926 for a different purpose, to serve a new imperial capital. Today, Old Delhi tells the story of how India learned to move. New Delhi tells the story of how India learned to manage movement of railways. At last, the Himasagar Express arrives, running behind schedule after its long journey from the north. And so, the journey begins.
बाय सर, बाय। हाँ चलिए।
Himasagar Express slowly, steadily, sturdily leaves New Delhi railway station to the next. From the train, you shall see a Delhi that you may not normally see as the train gathers speed. In the heart of New Delhi lies a railway station that functions like a city within a city. Welcome to Hazrat Nizamuddin Railway Station. Every single day, nearly 4 lakh passengers pass through this station. That number is almost the population of Alexandria in Egypt. With over 250 trains arriving and departing daily, Hazrat Nizamuddin is one of the busiest and most critical railway hubs in India. Opened in 1926, it was built to reduce pressure on New Delhi railway station. Over time, it quietly transformed into a lifeline connecting southern, western, and central India to the national capital. The station is named after the legendary Sufi saint Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, whose dargah nearby still draws thousands of devotees every week. Few stations in the world sit so close to a place of such deep spiritual significance. Born in 1238 AD in the present-day Uttar Pradesh state of India, Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia was one of the greatest Sufi saints of the Indian subcontinent. He belonged to the Chishti Sufi order, a lineage that emphasized love, devotion, and service to humanity. At the age of 20, he journeyed to Ayodhan in present-day Pakistan, where he became a disciple of the great Sufi master Baba Farid, continuing the spiritual chain of Moinuddin Chishti and Kutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. Hazrat Nizamuddin taught that love is the path to God, and love for God must include love for all humanity. His teachings reflected deep religious pluralism, kindness, and detachment from worldly power. According to historian Ziauddin Barani, his influence transformed the spiritual outlook of Delhi, drawing people toward prayer and mysticism. Despite his spiritual stature, Nizamuddin lived during turbulent political times. His strained relationship with Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq became legendary, marked by ideological clashes and unresolved tension. Among his many disciples were Sheikh Nasiruddin Shirag Dehelvi and the immortal poet, musician Amir Khusro, whose contributions shaped Indian culture forever. Hazrat Nizamuddin passed away on 3rd April 1325, and his dargah, built by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, stands today in Nizamuddin West, Delhi, maintained by his descendants. The Nizamuddin Dargah remains a sacred space for people of all faiths. Nearby stands Humayun's tomb, India's first garden tomb, and now a UNESCO declared World Heritage Site. Built in the 16th century by Bega Begum and designed by the Persian architect Miraq Mirza Ghiyas. It lies here because burial near Nizamuddin's shrine was considered deeply auspicious. Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia's legacy is timeless, a message of love, peace, and unity, echoing across centuries. Himasagar Express leaves behind Hazrat Nizamuddin Station. Leaving behind Hazrat Nizamuddin, Himasagar Express trundled towards Faridabad. Faridabad is part of the National Capital Region of Delhi. It has been an industrial hub since 1950s with more than 2,500 small and large-scale industries. In fact, it is the largest state with almost 2 million people in the state of Haryana. Named after the Sufi saint Baba Farid, whose legacy echoes even today in India and in Pakistan in the dargahs named after him. Dargah is a tomb or shrine of a Muslim saint. Faridabad literally means Farid's city. Baba Farid was one of the founders of Chishti Sufi order. Baba Farid's poetry is valued even to this day for insight and wisdom deeply rooted in the spiritual and cultural heritage of Punjab of India and Pakistan. His couplets are included in the Guru Granth Sahib, the sacred book of the Sikhs. They are a testament to this profound understanding of love, life, and the divine. And Baba Farid's emphasis on humility, divine love, and equality. His teacher, Khwaja Bakhtiar Kaki, was a disciple of Moinuddin Chishti, and Baba Farid's most famous disciple is Nizamuddin Chishti of Delhi, making him an important link in the chain of Chishti masters in South Asia and a very influential spiritual master in Asia. Baba Farid is revered for his contributions to the Punjabi literature and the language development for literary purposes, whereas Sanskrit, Arabic, Turkish, and Persian had historically been considered the languages of the learned and the elite. Punjabi was generally considered a less refined folk language. But Baba Farid used Punjabi as the language of poetry and laid the basis for a vernacular Punjabi literature that would be developed later. His poetry includes "Do not speak a hurtful word. Do not speak a hurtful word, for in everyone lives the true Lord. Do not break anyone's heart, for each heart is a priceless pearl." Another example of his poetry: "His grace may fall upon us at any time. His grace may fall upon us at any time. It has no rules, you see. Someone don't get it after rituals, vigils, others asleep. It hits suddenly." Another couplet titled "Fathom the Ocean." Farid says, "Creator is the creation and creation in the creator. Why should we then be blaming others when that one is everywhere?" From Faridabad, the train trundles towards Agra. Leaving Faridabad behind in the state of Haryana, the Himasagar Express gathers speed, slicing through the plains of northern India as it heads toward Agra in Uttar Pradesh, the country's most populous state. The landscape outside the window changes almost imperceptibly, and the daylight starts to darken. Yet, the destination ahead carries centuries of history, power, faith, and artistry. The train accelerates towards Agra. Agra is a city where myth and history coexist. Its origins are often traced back to the era of Mahabharata, yet the foundations of the modern city were laid much later. In 1504, Sultan Sikandar Lodi of the Delhi Sultanate formally founded Agra, establishing it as a center of administration and culture. After his death, his son Ibrahim Lodi ruled from here until his defeat by the Mughal ruler Babur at the First Battle of Panipat in 1526, a moment that altered the course of Indian history. With the rise of the Mughals, Agra entered its golden age. Emperor Akbar, the grandson of Babur, the founder of Mughal Empire in the Indian subcontinent, transformed the city into the capital of a vast empire, a status it retained under his successors Jahangir and Shah Jahan. Akbar's reign brought stability, tolerance, and grand architectural ambition. On the outskirts of the city, he built Fatehpur Sikri, a Himalayan capital of palaces, courtyards, and mosques that still stands as a testament to this Mughal vision. Jahangir, Akbar's son, inherited not only the throne but also a refined aesthetic sensibility. His love for nature found expression in gardens laid out within the Agra fort, turning the massive red sandstone citadel into a living space of beauty and order. Shah Jahan, however, would leave the most enduring imprint on the city. A patron of architecture without parallel, he gifted Agra its most iconic monument, the Taj Mahal. Built as a mausoleum in memory of his beloved wife, Mumtaz, the Taj Mahal was completed in 1653. Crafted from luminous white marble brought from Makrana in Rajasthan, it represents the pinnacle of Mughal architecture and achievement, blending Indian, Persian, and Turkish craft into perfect harmony. Delicate inlay work, exquisite calligraphy, balanced proportions, and subtle ornamentation elevate the structure beyond stone and mortar into poetry. During Shah Jahan's reign, the capital eventually shifted to Shahjahanabad, present-day Old Delhi. Yet, Agra remained deeply entwined with his fate. His son Aurangzeb seized power, imprisoned his father within the Agra fort. Shah Jahan is said to have gazed at the Taj Mahal, the final resting place of his queen, until his death. Agra continued as a Mughal capital for long periods before imperial power waned. As the Mughal Empire declined, the city came under Maratha influence and eventually fell to the British East India Company in 1803. Under colonial rule, Agra became the seat of government of the Agra Presidency. The uprising of 1857 briefly threatened British control, but the city remained under colonial administration until India gained independence in 1947. Beyond politics and architecture, Agra holds spiritual significance as well. It is the birthplace of Din-e-Ilahi, a syncretic faith envisioned by Emperor Akbar, blending elements from multiple religions. The city also gave rise to the Radha Swami faith, which today has millions of followers worldwide. Agra's religious landscape connects Hindu, Jain, and Islamic traditions, reflecting a deep and layered cultural history. Agra's identity today is inseparable from its monuments. It is unique in India for having 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites: the Taj Mahal, Agra Fort, and Fatehpur Sikri. Each tells a different chapter of the city's story: love, power, faith, and ambition carved into stone. The Taj Mahal itself seems alive, changing character with the hours of the day. It glows with an ethereal, almost unreal beauty. This shifting palette is not illusion alone, but the result of light interacting with finely polished marble. Behind its elegance lies immense human effort. Nearly 20,000 artisans and workers from across Asia contributed to its construction. What visitors do not see today are the once lavish interiors, jeweled ornaments, Persian carpets, silver doors, and hanging chandeliers, long lost to time and history. The actual tombs of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz lie quietly beneath the cenotaphs in serene silence. Agra has also known hardship. One of its darkest chapters occurred during the famine of 1837 to 1838, when the region suffered devastating losses with hundreds of thousands of lives lost. This tragedy remains a stark reminder that the city's grandeur has always stood alongside human struggle. Modern Agra is a bustling transport, anchored by several railway stations, the most important being Agra Cantonment. Located on major north-south and east-west railway routes, it serves millions of passengers each year and connects the city seamlessly to the rest of India. From here, the Taj Mahal and Agra Fort are just a short distance away. No visit to Agra is complete without tasting its most famous sweet, peta. Made from ash gourd or winter melon or white pumpkin and sugar and water, this translucent delicacy has a texture unlike any other. The ash gourd is sliced into bite-sized pieces and then cured for a few hours in a solution of calcium hydroxide, locally known as chuna or soon. After removing the gourd pieces from the chuna solution, they are boiled until soft and then soaked in sugar syrup. The final candy has a sugar crisp exterior and an almost moist, sticky interior with a firm, crunchy, and almost crystalline texture. Legends trace its origins to the Mughal court, where it is said to have been created to mirror the purity and whiteness of the Taj Mahal itself. Over generations, Agra's sweet makers perfected the craft, producing countless varieties from plain and saffron infused to pan, mango, and chocolate flavors. Today, Agra remains synonymous with peta, supported by skilled halwais or sweet makers, favorable climate, and time-honored methods. Among the many producers, names like Panchi Peta, established in 1926, are often recommended by locals and travelers alike. Even a small bite, savored thoughtfully, connects one to centuries of culinary tradition. Beyond the Taj Mahal, Agra offers much to explore. The grandeur of Agra Fort, the serenity of Keetham Lake, the elegance of Iltimad ud Daula's tomb, the spiritual calm of Dayal Bagh, the historic temples of Bateshwar, and the haunting beauty of Fatehpur Sikri. Agra is more than a city of monuments. It is a place where empires rose and fell, where faiths intertwined, where love was immortalized in marble, and where history still whispers through gardens, forts, railway platforms, and sweet shops. In Agra, one realizes that Agra is not merely a destination, it is an experience shaped by time itself. As we enter Dholpur, we step into the colossal land of Rajasthan, India's largest state, bigger than Italy, Norway, Poland, and Belgium in Europe. A land bordered by 5 Indian states and the vast frontier of Pakistan, Rajasthan thrives on industry, minerals, and timeless tourism. Dholpur rests on the wild beauty of the Chambal River, famous for its legendary red sandstone that built empires. Born in the 11th century under King Dawal Dev of the Tomar dynasty, Dholpur has survived Arab invaders, the Delhi Sultanate, and the Mughals. At each time, the Rajput spirit rose again, reclaiming its throne. Later, it stood as a proud princely state under the British rule until 1949. The Dholpur railway station, opened in 1908 by the Maharaja himself, still echoes with that royal legacy. Around Dholpur, 3 ancient Shiva temples stand guard: Mahakal Shiv Temple, Mahadev Temple by the river Parvati, and Bhuteshwar Mahadev Temple, silent witnesses to centuries of devotion and history. Gwalior is famous for its rich history, majestic fort, classical music heritage, great warriors, palaces, food, and unique cultural identity. Gwalior is best known for its massive hilltop fort, often called one of the most impenetrable forts in India. Gwalior Fort is nicknamed as the Gibraltar of India. It houses Man Singh Palace with beautiful blue-tiled facades, Gujari Mahal, Sas Bahu temples or mother-in-law and daughter-in-law temples, Teli Ka Mandir, and the Gwalior Fort carvings represent different dynasties: Pratihara, Tomar, Rajput, Mughal, and Maratha. Gwalior is home of the Scindia dynasty, one of India's most influential royal families. The Scindias built major landmarks including Jai Vilas Palace, which has world's largest chandeliers, schools, museums, and public institutions. Musically, Gwalior is the birthplace of the Gwalior Gharana. It is the cradle of Hindustani classical music. The famous Gwalior Gharana is one of the oldest and foundational gharanas or schools of music of Indian classical singing. Tansen, one of Akbar's Navaratnas or 9 jewels, was born in nearby Behat. The city also hosts the annual Tansen Music Festival. Tansen's tomb is located in Gwalior. A tamarind tree near the tomb is said to give its leaves a magical sweetness for singers. Musicians from across India visit as a pilgrimage site. Gwalior was involved in major historical events such as Rani Lakshmi Bai's final battle in 1858, Marathas versus Mughal clashes, and other important freedom struggle movements. Gwalior is famous for gajak, the condiment or sweet dish, and the local cuisine is a mix of Bundelkhandi and Madhya Pradesh flavors. Gajak is a confection originating in north-central India. It is a dry sweet made of sesame seeds, peanuts, and jaggery. The roasted sesame seeds and peanuts are cooked in the raw sugar syrup and set in thin layers, which can be stored for months. On this journey, I also meet Manish Srivastava. He is a native of Gwalior city and is going home. He works in the state of Jammu and Kashmir as an engineer. During our conversation, he informs about Chenab railway bridge and the journey he has taken on the train to see the bridge. Vande Bharat Express train goes over the railway bridge connecting Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Katra and Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir. It is the world's tallest railway bridge above the Chenab River. The bridge is taller than the Eiffel Tower. It showcases remarkable engineering and architectural achievement of India in 21st century. Being a local man from Gwalior, Manish Srivastava shares what to see and what to taste in Gwalior.
राजविलास पैलेस है और यहाँ का सबसे फेमस जो फूड है वो गजक
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 क्या होता है जी?
जैसे आगरा का पेठा होता है ना, ऐसे यहाँ पर एक होती है फसल तिल का गजक बनता है जो जाड़े में बहुत फायदेमंद रहता है सर्दियों के लिए।
धन्यवाद।
गर्म रहती है बहुत।
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। और
ग्वालियर में वैसे ही हिस्टोरिकल पैलेस है पूरा।
अच्छा।
माधवराव सिंधिया ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया का पूरा महल है यहाँ पर। और रानी लक्ष्मीबाई जो एक्सपायर हुई थी वो यहीं हुई थी।
अच्छा।
अंग्रेजों से लड़ाई करते करते यहीं एक्सपायर हुई।
धन्यवाद।
ओके,
थैंक यू मनीष जी।
ये सर झांसी तक जाएंगे, झांसी तक ही ना, झांसी से ही है ना आपको।
Himasagar Express leaves Gwalior toward Jhansi, which is in Uttar Pradesh, which means we are re-entering into the state of Uttar Pradesh. This train journey turned out to be much more than just moving from one destination to another. Along the way, I found myself stopping at stations that carried powerful stories of women whose courage shaped Indian history. Jhansi in Uttar Pradesh is one among them, a place where the past doesn't feel distant at all. It lives in the air, in the stones of the fort, and in the stories people still tell. Jhansi is known across the country as the land of Rani Lakshmi Bai, one of the fiercest figures of the Indian freedom struggle. But arriving here, I realize that Jhansi is not just about one heroic moment in history. It is a city shaped by resistance, culture, and constant movement. Jhansi is one of India's busiest railway stations. Trains from Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bhopal, and Gwalior pass through here every day. There is a sense of motion, people arriving, departing, waiting, and it feels fitting for a city that has always been at crossroads. Jhansi's city is inseparable from Rani Lakshmi Bai. Born as Manikarnika Tambe in Varanasi, she grew up riding horses, wielding swords, and learning skills usually reserved for warriors. Locals still call her Manu, as if she never truly left. After marrying Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, she became the Rani of Jhansi. When their infant son died, they adopted Damodar Rao as heir. But after the Raja's death in 1853, the British East India Company refused to recognize the adoption, using the doctrine of lapse to annex Jhansi. She wrote multiple letters to the British, citing treaties and traditions, arguing for Jhansi's right to remain independent. All were rejected. By the time the revolt of 1857 broke out, Jhansi was already simmering with anger. When British forces turned their attention to the city, Lakshmi Bai did something extraordinary. She transformed from a ruler into a commander. Her legendary escape on horseback, with her adopted son Damodar Rao tied to her back, leaping from fort and disappearing into the night as British troops closed on. Whether fully factual or partly legend, the story has become part of Jhansi's soul. Even today, Rani Lakshmi Bai is remembered not just as a historical figure, but as a symbol. In Indian memory, she became a form of Shakti, strength, courage, and defiance combined. As Himasagar Express pulled away from Jhansi, I realized this is not just another historical stop. Jhansi feels like a place that teaches you something about courage, about standing your ground, and about how stories survive long after battles end. 4 a.m. At the time of my arrival in Bhopal, the capital of Madhya Pradesh, the second largest state in India, I have fallen into sleep. Madhya means literally in the middle, and Pradesh means a state, region, territory, province, which is a geographical or political division within a country. Bhopal is infamously known globally for the 1984 Union Carbide disaster. The Bhopal gas tragedy was a massive gas leak of methyl isocyanate. Estimates of the death toll vary. Some say survivors continue to suffer long-term health effects, for the site remained contaminated for decades, with debates over how well cleanup has been handled. Bhopal has a unique princely legacy in India, once ruled by Begums, meaning female rulers. Bhopal was a separate province at the time of Indian independence but merged with Madhya Pradesh in 1956. Bhopal is known as the city of lakes in India. They are scenic, charming, and have historical and cultural importance. Oldest human habitation was found closer to Bhopal at Bhimbetka Rock Shelters, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, because these caves date back to more than 12,000 years. They show early human life such as hunting scenes, dancing, and aspects of everyday life. Interestingly, there is the Museum of Man in Bhopal. Bhopal Railway Junction is one of the first Indian states to install a sanitary napkin vending machine. Happy Nari. Although I slept off when the Himasagar Express stopped at Bhopal, I am awake as the train approaches Itarsi. Itarsi may look like a quiet town on the map, but its importance to India is anything but small. Located in central Madhya Pradesh, Narmadapuram district, near the fertile plains of the Narmada River, Itarsi sits about 70 kilometers south of Bhopal. With a population of just over 1 lakh, it is far from a metropolis, but its influence travels across the entire country. Long before railways shaped its destiny, Itarsi was known for brick making and rope production. In fact, the town's name is believed to come from Ita and Rassi, a reminder of its humble, hard-working roots. Everything changed with the arrival of the railways. At the very heart of India's railway grid lies Itarsi Railway Junction, the largest and most critical rail junction in Madhya Pradesh. This is where some of the country's most important rail corridors intersect, north to south, east to west. Trains running between Delhi and Chennai, Mumbai and Kolkata, and countless routes linking cities like Hyderabad, Nagpur, and Guwahati all converge here. Its national importance became crystal clear in 2015. A devastating fire broke out in the route relay interlocking system, the nerve center of the station's signaling. In a matter of hours, one incident brought India's rail network to a standstill. Thousands of trains were cancelled or diverted over more than a month, causing massive financial losses and widespread disruption. It was a stark reminder: when Itarsi stops, the country feels it. Yet, Itarsi is more than tracks and timetables. Decades of railway employment brought people from across India, Punjab, Bengal, Kerala, Maharashtra, among others, turning the town into a rare cultural mosaic. This diversity is reflected in its language, festivals, food, and everyday life. With a literacy rate around 80%, education has also played a key role in shaping the town's identity. From a village built on bricks and ropes to a railway junction that moves the nation, Itarsi's journey mirrors India's own growth. Itarsi is not just a stop on the route. Itarsi is a crossing point of people, cultures, commerce, and history. A small town with a national heartbeat of Indian railways. Himasagar Express leaves behind Itarsi and trundles towards Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, towards Nagpur. Nagpur railway station silently keeps India moving. Nagpur railway station is not just another stop on the map. It was built in 1867. That means this station is older than many modern Indian cities. When steam engines ruled the land, Nagpur was already a major railway junction under British rule, moving troops, goods, and people across central India and beyond. Now, every single day, more than 300 trains pass through Nagpur. Trains from the north, south, east, and west of India all cross paths here. Very few stations in the country connect all four directions as efficiently as Nagpur does. That is why many railway officials call it the geographical heart of Indian railways. Hidden from the public view, Nagpur also controls one of the largest railway electrification systems in Asia. From here, train movement and power supply are monitored across massive sections of India. So, while passengers wait on platforms, Nagpur quietly controls the flow of electric trains hundreds of kilometers away. Even today, if you look closely, you will find colonial era architecture inside the station, a reminder of the days of steam engines, manual signals, and oil lamps lighting the platforms. Because of its central location, Nagpur railway station has always been strategically important for Indian railways. During wars and emergencies, this station played a key role in defense and military transportation. Nagpur is not just a railway stop, it is a lifeline. Step outside the station and the story becomes even more fascinating. Nagpur is home to the famous Zero Milestone. This stone marks the geographical center of British India, from where distances to cities across the country were once measured. In a way, every road once began from Nagpur. Nagpur is also the winter capital of Maharashtra state. Every year, the Maharashtra State Assembly meets here for its winter session. Very few cities in India hold such political importance without being a state capital year-round. In 1956, Nagpur became the stage for a historic moment. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar chose this city to announce his conversion to Buddhism. Thus, Nagpur became a symbol of equality, reform, and awakening. Most people know Nagpur as the Orange City, but here is the twist. While Nagpur made oranges famous, most Nagpur oranges today are actually grown outside the city as urbanization slowly replaced orchards. Still, the name remains a legacy of its golden past. Nagpur is also known as the tiger capital of India because it is surrounded by some of the country's most famous tiger reserves: Tadoba, Pench, Umred, Bor, and Kanha. No other major city in India sits so close to so many wild tiger habitats. Nagpur is not just a place you pass through. It is the heart that keeps Indian railways moving. And Nagpur is also known for being the headquarters of RSS, राष्ट्रीय स्वयं सेवक संघ।
Sevagram is a tribute to the father of the Indian nation, Mahatma Gandhi. And
Sevagram, the village that changed India with the presence of Mahatma Gandhi. At the Sevagram railway station, every day trains stop here for barely a minute. Passengers step down, step back in and move on. But very few realize that this small railway station once shaped the destiny of India. The railway station is small, simple and quiet. No grand buildings, no massive crowds, no VIP lounges, yet it is one of the most historically important railway stations in India. From 1936 onwards, this was the primary railway station used by Mahatma Gandhi. Almost every major journey Gandhi made in the last phase of his life began or ended right here. Despite Gandhi living nearby, this station was never converted into a VIP station. There were no special platforms, no reserved areas, no privileges. This was not neglect, it was a choice. Gandhi believed leaders should live exactly like ordinary people, and the Sevagram station reflects that belief even today. The name Sevagram means village of service. This village is not built for power or comfort, it is built for seva, self-discipline and simplicity. This was the place where Gandhi lived the longest in his entire life. For 12 years, India's biggest national decisions were guided from a simple mud hut. From Sevagram, Gandhi led movements that shook the British Empire. Ideas related to the Quit India movement, village self-reliance, social equality and non-violence were shaped right here. No microphones, no grand stages, just thought, discipline and courage. At a time when the British ruled from palaces, India's freedom movement was being guided from huts built with bare hands. Even when electricity became available, Gandhi chose oil lamps. He spun his own khadi, cleaned his own space, and insisted on manual labor. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to set an example. An idea where children learn by doing, where labor has dignity, and education builds character, not just careers. Even today, these ideas are discussed across the world. So, the next time your train stops at Sevagram, even if it is just for a minute, remember this. Trains may halt briefly here, but the ideas born in Sevagram changed India forever and has relevance, the ideas of Gandhi, even today. Chandrapur, approaching Chandrapur. Some cities are known for history, some for nature, and some for industry. But Chandrapur is different because here coal trains run next to tiger forests and extreme heat meets ancient history. Chandrapur railway station may not look famous, but it plays a crucial role in India's energy system. This station lies on the Delhi-Chennai main railway line, one of the busiest rail corridors in the country. Day and night, freight trains loaded with coal, cement and heavy machinery move through Chandrapur. The railway line passes close to Tadoba Andari Tiger Reserve. That means trains here run through active tiger territory. Few railway routes in India operate so close to wild forests, with constant monitoring to prevent wildlife accidents. Chandrapur station may not attract tourists, but its importance lies in what it supports, not what it displays. Silently, it keeps industries moving and homes lit across the state in Maharashtra. Chandrapur was once known as Chanda, a name derived from Chandra, the moon. Its history goes back more than 1,000 years. At the heart of the city stands Chandrapur Fort, built in the 13th century by Gond rulers. Unlike many cities, Chandrapur actually grew inside its fort walls. Even today, the fort gates remain part of a daily life. The Gondwana kingdom ruled the Gondwana region of India. The Gondwana region includes regions of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, and Odisha. Gonds are followers of the nature-based religion called Kova Punen or Gondi religion. The land around Chandrapur is rich in black cotton soil, but below the surface lies something even more valuable, coal, often called Black Gold City. These coal reserves turned Chandrapur into one of Maharashtra's most important industrial regions. Chandrapur is also known for something far less comfortable. It is one of the hottest cities in India. Summer temperatures regularly cross 47 degrees Celsius. Power plants, mining, and climate conditions have earned it the nickname, the City of Heat. Here, coal mines and tigers exist side by side. Chandrapur is also shaped by the Wardha and Irai rivers, which support farming, wildlife, and industry, but also bring floods and environmental challenges. From scorching heat to silent forests, from coal-loaded trains to roaming tigers. Chandrapur is not just a city of thermal power, it is also a city of extremes, the city of heat. Balarsha. Welcome to Balarsha, a place most people pass through without knowing its real power in Indian railways. Balarsha railway station is one of the most strategically important railway junctions in central and southern India. What makes Balarsha truly special is its role in freight and industrial transport. Much of the industrial supply chain of Maharashtra and Telangana depends on these tracks. Despite this importance, Balarsha railway station remains relatively quiet and low profile. No grand terminals, no flashy upgrades. Balarsha town has a history that goes back several centuries. It was once part of the Gond kingdom and later came under the Nizam of Hyderabad. This mix of cultures gave Balarsha its unique identity. The town sits on the banks of the Wardha river, which made it an important settlement long before railways existed. Balarsha was a natural meeting point for trade, travel, and administration. Even today, a large part of the town depends directly or indirectly on a railway-related work. In many ways, Balarsha exists because of the railway. Like Chandrapur, Balarsha experiences extreme heat. Because it is September, the temperatures are extremely bearable. At the station, I am surprised to find a refilling point for water bottles, which I find it very useful because I dislike to use plastic again and again. So I went and refilled my water bottle. Balarsha is not just a stop on the line. It is one of the silent engines of India's railway network.
Godavari River. ఎంతో జాగ్రత్త అంటున్నా.
After Balasha in Maharashtra, we enter into the state of Telangana. Telangana is India's youngest state. Ramagundam in Telangana powers the young state of the Indian Republic. Ramagundam is a town most people barely notice, yet one that keeps the lights on across South India. It is not a tourist attraction. It is never meant to be. It exists for one main reason: energy. This station is the primary railway gateway to the Ramagundam Super Thermal Power Station, one of the largest power plants in India. Day and night, freight trains loaded with coal move through Ramagundam. Much of this coal comes from the nearby Singareni collieries, some of the oldest coal mines in the country. At Ramagundam, coal trains never sleep. Ramagundam also faces extreme heat. Summer temperatures here often cross 45 degrees Celsius. Power plants, dry climate, and heavy industry have earned it a reputation as one of the hottest industrial regions in South India. Yet flowing nearby is one of India's holiest rivers, the Godavari. Ramagundam's story is closely tied to Telangana's story. Telangana became a separate state only in 2014, making it one of India's youngest states. Yet its history goes back over 1,000 years through the Kakatiyas, the Qutub Shahis, and the Nizams. Despite being young, Telangana became a power surplus state within just a few years. Today, Telangana stands at a rare crossroads. Ancient temples and tribal cultures, coal mines and power plants, and high-tech IT hubs like in Hyderabad, all existing side by side in India's youngest state, Telangana. Leaving behind Ramagundam, Himasagar Express snakes in to Telangana further, deeper. Being September, the countryside is cultivated, green. Warangal is not just another city on the map of Telangana. It remains as an influential place, although not like during the medieval time when it was capital that once ruled the eastern Deccan. During the reign of the Kakatiya dynasty, this city was known as Orugallu or Ekashila Nagar, meaning one stone. The name came from the massive single rock used in building its legendary fort. The fort was built with a single compact stone, and later on it is called as Warangal. Over time, Orugallu evolved into what we now call Warangal. From the 12th century to the early 14th century, Warangal was the capital of the Kakatiya kingdom, which ruled large parts of present-day Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Even today, Warangal proudly displays its past through iconic landmarks like Warangal Fort, the 1,000-pillar temple, and the Ramappa temple. These monuments reveal the advanced engineering and artistic brilliance of the Kakatiyas. Beyond history, the region is known for scenic lakes, handloom weaving, vibrant festivals, and traditional Telugu cuisine. The heart of Kakatiya power was Warangal Fort. Construction began in the 13th century under King Ganapati Deva after he shifted the capital from Hanumakanda to Warangal. His daughter Rani Rudramadevi later strengthened the fort's defenses, adding taller stone walls, earthen ramparts, and wide moats. The final expansions were made by King Prataparudra II, the last Kakatiya ruler. This fort was not just a palace, it was a battlefield. In 1309, Malik Kafur, the general of Delhi Sultan Alauddin Khilji, attacked Warangal with a massive army. The siege lasted for months and tested the strength of the Kakatiya defenses. Although the fort survived initial assaults, repeated invasions weakened the kingdom. Eventually, Warangal passed into the hands of the Qutub Shahis and later the Nizams of Hyderabad. In the treasure of Kakatiyas, it is believed was the famous Kohinoor diamond, which later on passed into the Delhi Sultanate. Yet, the Kakatiyas never truly vanished. They united Telugu-speaking regions, encouraged social mobility by allowing farmers and commoners into the army, and built vast irrigation tanks that still serve the region today. Their architectural style remains unmatched in South India. Even in modern times, Warangal holds strategic importance. Warangal railway station, built during the British era, was designed as a control point for the Deccan, located on the crucial Delhi-Chennai railway line. It remains a key junction where long-distance trains pass daily and the crews rotate to ensure a safe travel. Warangal is not just a city of ruins. It is a living reminder of ambition, resilience, and a glorious Telugu past. The evening on the second day of the journey is getting darker as Himasagar Express moves towards the next destination in the Telangana state, Khammam. Khammam station is on the Kazipet-Vijayawada section, which is part of a major rail corridor connecting Delhi-Chennai as well as Hyderabad-Vijayawada. This makes it a key junction for both passenger and freight movement. Khammam is among the 40 railway stations in India to be upgraded under the Amrit Bharat Stations scheme. Khammam has roots in Nizam's guaranteed state railway during the British era. During that time, it was especially important for transporting coal, limestone, and other minerals from nearby mines like the Singareni collieries. Passenger trains, express trains, freight trains all pass through here day and night. Coal, cement, and industrial goods from the surrounding region move silently through this station, making Khammam a vital cog in Telangana's industrial machine. Khammam grew around Khammam Fort, a majestic structure over 400 years old, perched on a hill and guarding the city for centuries. It was developed till 17th century by Qutub Shahis and Nizams of Hyderabad. Built in 950 AD by the Kakatiyas, Khammam Fort was taken over by the Qutub Shahi rulers in the year 1512 and subsequently passed into the hands of Asaf Jahi rulers in the 17th century. Built with granite, the fort stands majestically on a hill in the heart of Khammam town. Leaving behind Khammam in Telangana, Himasagar Express trundles to the next Telugu-speaking state, Andhra Pradesh. In Andhra Pradesh to Vijayawada. The day has grown darker and growing darker as the train moves towards Vijayawada. As Vijayawada railway station approaches, the Himasagar Express slows down, enabling the passengers to feel the city or give way to other trains or to prepare for something to buy for the dinner. Vijayawada, the place of victory, stands as a threshold city welcoming travelers into Andhra Pradesh. Vijayawada is known for the temple of goddess Kanakadurga, the goddess of power, riches and benevolence. Goddess Kanakadurga is the presiding deity of Vijayawada. The temple is visited by lakhs of pilgrims for worship, especially during the Navaratri festival, which is celebrated with religious fervor, pomp and festivity. Watched over by the revered Kanakadurga atop Indrakiladri hill, the city blends spiritual strength with modern momentum. On the banks of the sacred river Krishna in Vijayawada abounds with legends of historical interest. Indrakiladri hill is unique. The belief among the believers is that it has been the chosen abode of Kanakadurga and Malleshwara as Swayambhu, the self-existent one. Here, Durga is on the right side of Malleshwara, as against the tradition of goddesses taking their position on the left of their consorts. This shows that Shakti is predominant on the Indrakiladri hill. Goddess is looking towards the northeast with cool smile and bliss, because of which the devotees are blessed with whatever they pray for. This is the only temple in the Indian subcontinent where the main deity is decorated in forms of Saraswati, Lakshmi, Bala Tripura Sundari, Raja Rajeshwari, Mahisasura Mardini, Durga Devi, Annapurna Devi, Gayatri, Lalita Tripura Sundari, among others. Vijayawada, also known as Bejawada, was upgraded to municipality in the year 1960, and the municipality was upgraded to a corporation in 1981, headed by an elected mayor who performs the administration of the corporation. The commissioner acts as the executive head and oversees the day-to-day functions of the municipal corporation. Vijayawada railway station is one of India's busiest and most vital railway junctions. Opened in 1888, it grew into the nerve center of the South Central Railway, connecting the country's four major metropolitan cities: Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata and New Delhi. The station handles over 200 trains daily and serves well over 100,000 passengers every day, alongside massive freight movement that drives regional commerce. The rail connectivity shaped Vijayawada's rise as a major urban and commercial center on the banks of the river Krishna. The iconic Prakasam barrage stretching across the river has become the city's defining image, symbolizing both engineering ambition and the lifeline that sustains the region. The barrage across the Krishna River connecting Vijayawada and Guntur districts in Andhra Pradesh serves also as a road bridge and spans over a lake. The three canals associated with the barrage run through the city, crossing it and giving it a Venetian appearance. The idea of constructing a dam across the river Krishna dates back to 1798 during the East India Company's rule. The dam was started in 1852 and completed in 1855. After India's independence, the Andhra Pradesh government constructed a bridge that was named after Tanguturi Prakasam, the first Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, a state formed in 1953, which later became Andhra Pradesh in 1956 after the merger of Telugu-speaking districts of former Hyderabad state. Completed in 1957, the Prakasam barrage helps to irrigate over 1.2 million acres of land. This barrage also supplies water to Buckingham Canal, which was initially constructed as an inland navigation canal, but was later used as an irrigation water supply canal. The Krishna River and its associated canals, namely Bandar Canal, Eluru Canal, and a Rives Canal, which weave through every nook and cranny of Vijayawada city, have been given a remarkable makeover, becoming a new source of attraction for locals and visitors alike. The Krishna River and its associated canals, namely Bandar Canal, Eluru Canal, and a Rives Canal, which weave through every nook and cranny of Vijayawada city, have been given a remarkable makeover, becoming a new source of attraction for locals and visitors alike.
Come in.
As I have come to know, Maina Swami, the editor of Tourism News and foremost art historian in the Telugu states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, is in Amaravati area, the coming up capital of Andhra Pradesh. I informed him about my train journey. He has agreed to meet me at the railway station at my request. He arrives by bringing along with him the 18th anniversary issue of Tourism News and a copy of his book titled Glory of Ancient Temples, Hemavati, Lepakshi, Penukonda and Kadiri. Thanks to his generosity, he meets us by bringing with him freshly cooked ghee dosas and idlis for me and Venkaiah Naidu, my co-traveler and a web journalist. We interact with him, learning about Vijayawada and the state of Andhra Pradesh. As the Himasagar Express moves towards the next stop, Tenali, it is pitch dark outside. Tenali is famous for being the hometown of Tenali Rama or Tenali Ramakrishna, one of the legendary Ashtadiggajas or 8 poets in the court of the Vijayanagara king Krishna Devaraya. This gives the Tenali town a very strong place in Telugu folklore and literature. Tenali sits in a very fertile region fed by canals from the Krishna River, which allows for intensive agriculture. Tenali's municipality was formed in 1909, making it a relatively old municipal town, and the station opened in 1899, making it over a century old. Tenali Ramakrishna was renowned for his sharp intelligence and humor. His clever observations and quick thinking made him a trusted advisor to the king. He earned a prestigious place among the Ashtadiggajas and became famous for blending wisdom with wit. Because of this unique gift, he was honored with the title Vikata Kavi, meaning the jester poet. Born into a Telugu-speaking Brahmin family in the village of Tenali, Ramakrishna displayed a deep thirst for knowledge from a young age. According to popular legend, after being rejected by Vaishnava scholars due to his Shaiva beliefs, he wandered until a sage advised him to worship goddess Kali. Pleased with his devotion and intelligence, the goddess is said to have blessed him, foretelling his future greatness as a poet. His most celebrated literary work, Panduranga Mahatyam, is considered one of the 5 great Telugu kavyas. The work narrates the legend of Panduranga, an incarnation of Vishnu, and explores the themes of devotion and the afterlife. He also authored Udbhataradhya Charitamu, reflecting his strong Shaiva roots and literary mastery. Tenali Ramakrishna is believed to have passed away in 1528, reportedly from a snake bite. His legacy lives on through countless stories, films, television series, and even an animated show, The Adventures of Tenali Rama. Once mocked for lacking formal education, he famously replied, "A deep well doesn't make noise, only shallow water splashes." A timeless reminder that true wisdom never needs to boast. Krishna Deva Raya of Vijayanagara kingdom dreamt of losing all his teeth and felt disturbed. He asked Tenali Ramakrishna, who interpreted the king's dream, "Your Majesty will outlive all your relatives." The king rewarded him, while another scholar was punished for saying the same truth harshly. Wisdom. Truth delivered with kindness becomes wisdom. Himasagar Express accelerates towards Ongole and then to Nellore. The Himasagar Express arrives in Nellore in the late night. It has been drizzling, thunder and lightning. The station has passengers who have been waiting, resting, and some sleeping for their respective train journeys. The sounds are the announcements in the megaphone and the voice of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, whose message is on the small and medium scale industries.
Maximum support to micro, small and medium enterprise.
Nellore railway station is on the Chennai-Howrah main line, connecting southern and eastern India. It is part of the Vijayawada Railway Division under the South Coast Railway Zone. This makes it a key stop for long-distance express trains and due to its significant passenger traffic and revenue. The station has 4 platforms and broad gauge tracks with recent expansions to handle growing train traffic. Nellore station has been operational since the late 19th century, reflecting its historic importance. Nellore handles freight connected to agriculture and seafood exports. Its strategic location helps move goods efficiently from the coastal and inland districts. Nellore is a coastal city located about 25 kilometers from Bay of Bengal. Its climate is tropical with hot summers and moderate rainfall, which supports rice cultivation and aquaculture. From Nellore station, tourists or visitors can easily access nearby attractions like Sriharikota and Pulicat Lake, which is famous for the migratory birds. Nellore is not just a rice and shrimp hub, but also a cultural and historic city with deep religious significance. The railway station is a critical link for both passenger movement and freight transport, connecting Nellore to major cities in South and East India. Nellore was ruled by Mauryas, Satavahanas, Cholas, Vijayanagara kings, and the Nawabs of Arcot, giving it a diverse culture and architectural heritage. Several ancient temples, forts, and monuments reflect this layered history. With the rain in the night, the Himasagar Express moves towards the next destination, towards Renigunta Railway Station. Himasagar Express reaches Renigunta Railway Junction at 2:52 am. Renigunta lies very close to Tirupati, one of India's most important pilgrimage destinations. Renigunta Railway Station is a junction which handles a mix of long distance expresses and local traffic, making it a very versatile station. Renigunta is also quite near to Tirupati airport, which makes the station a multimodal hub. Himasagar Express rattles slowly and sturdily towards my destination, Tirupati. I feel an overwhelming moment of joy for being able to complete this journey. Tirupati is one of the modes for pilgrims to have darshan of Lord Balaji in Tirumala. It handles a huge surge of devotees during festive seasons, making it one of the busiest pilgrimage-linked stations. The station was opened in 1891, making it more than a century old. Because Tirupati is such a major pilgrimage destination, the station is not just a transport node, it plays a spiritual and logistical role. The Tirumala Venkateswara Swami temple is one of the richest Hindu temples, attracting millions of pilgrims yearly. Over 50,000 to 100,000 devotees visit daily, with peaks during festivals like Brahmotsavam. Tirumala Hills, part of the Eastern Ghats, the hills rise about 850 meters, offering scenic forests and trekking routes. Ancient legacy, the temple dates back over 1000 years with inscriptions from Chola and Vijayanagara rulers. The temple's Annadanam program serves hundreds of thousands of free meals daily.
I have reached the destination of Tirupati, the temple town, at 3:30 a.m. dot on time.
The way Indian Railways function and the people who make the Indian Railways function is nothing short of magic. That is why I dedicate this video to the Indian Railways. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those in between, I thank you for being here. I strongly recommend you to discover India by a train journey for its safety, perspective, cuisine, and curiosity to learn about life, for life, from life, for life is fleeting. Memento Mori. Himasagar Express continues its journey further south towards a final destination, Kanyakumari, the southernmost tip of India by the Indian Ocean.